In the last section, we discussed about the assignment operator, and there's a bit is remaining in the assignment operator. Okay, so let's do quick overview of assignment after that assignment operator. And after that, we'll start the new bit called as input and output stream. Okay, so in that we'll discuss about how we'll accept the user input from the user and what are the different ways that are available. Afterward, once we complete the input, now we'll discuss about the output function, how we'll display the data by using what are the ways that are available. We'll discuss one by one. So before starting that, we all know that the bitwise operator is there, which is used to perform, sorry, arithmetic assignment operator is there, which is used to perform the operation. Okay. So here I will open the notepad and I will clear the topic which left in last section. Make a note of that while performing any operation by using assignment operator, we need to do a separately. We cannot able to pass this assignment operator within a function. Okay. So in last lecture, we are trying to apply the logic and we're trying to send the details inside the printf function. So we get that error. Okay. So let's assume that here I'm trying to use a 10 and b is equals to 20. Now I want to perform a assignment addition. So what should I do here? I will use print down bracket in double quote. Here I will write a plus equals to b. So what does it mean? It means that a plus equals to b. It means that it will perform the addition. It will perform the addition and the result will be stored in the variable. So that means what? A is equals to a plus b. Here I given the comment, so this code will not execute. A is equals to a plus b. Okay, but there is a problem. Make a note of that. If you want to perform assignment operator, do it separately. Do it separately. Do not pass such operator inside a print function. Otherwise, it will get error. So I will show you how we'll get the error and how we'll resolve this. Okay. So click on the save button. So here I will write our program name. Save in this PC pp programs. Here's a pp programs. I will save inside that double quote and I will use assign use demo 5 dot. I'm trying to use that program. Okay, so I will use d colon cd pp programs demo 5 dot. When I trying to execute this program, we get an error. Okay, so we get an error. See, we get that error over here, and he say that invalid syntax. We cannot able to use assignment operator inside print function. Okay, then what is the solution for that? What is the solution for that? If we're trying to execute that, we did not get any output. Okay, we get the end syntax error. So what is the solution for that? So here is the solution for that. So we will do what? Will print over here only result is colon. After that we pass the result. That's it, and here we'll perform the operation. That a plus equals to b. Okay, so that means what? A is equals to a plus b and result will be stored in a. So instead of that result here we need to pass a. So we get the result. That means we need to perform the addition. A plus b, we get the 30 and the result is, or we can say that sum is. Just try to save that program and just execute it. See, we get the don't worry about that assignment operator. We have lots of options and we did already in the arithmetic operator. Just we need to specify what are the ways are available to execute that. Okay, let's do another program. For example, instead of that plus, I want to use minus. Okay, so here I will use, instead of sum, I will use sub and provide the option of a. So why we provide the option of a? Because see, in that case a is equals to a minus b. It will perform the subtraction and the result will be stored in a. That's why here I am printing a. Okay, so the result will be stored in again a. Just save it and trying to execute that program. So we get the minus a. Why? Because a is a 10 and b is a 20. minus 20, we get the minus 10. So make a note of that here. Just if you want to perform assignment operate, do it separately. Do not pass it on print function. If you're trying to pass this in print function, then we get the. Okay. So this is about the last day session. So do it all the program. For example, just see here we'll do it the program. So for example, here I'm asking the value. Will accept the value from the user. So here I will use input in round bracket double quote first colon, and after that just I want to do the typecasting for that. So that's why in that way. Why we need a typecasting? Because we all know that whenever we accept the value from the user, that by default data type is a string, and also we'll discuss about that. Okay, so here I will use x. Similarly we will do for y also. So here I'm trying to use y. So x is there and y is there. So enter first value, and here I will write enter second store. Here will perform x plus equals to 1. X plus equals to 1. We can say that any other operation, for example, flow division is that print why we will provide the x, because it means that x is equals to x flow division y. So that means the result will be stored in x, whatever it may be. Okay, the result will be stored in x. So that's why here I printed the option. So that's the practical. So you have to enter first value, and I will press that. Press the 2. So here I'm passing two integers. We get the output 10 by 2, 5. Okay, that will be stored in x. So we get the output like that stuff. We can do the practical. Rest of practicals you can do on so you will get the better idea for that. This is about what this is about what assignment. Now we'll discuss about another operator. Sorry, another bit called as an input string. Now today we'll discuss about how we'll take the input from the user. Okay. Let's do the theoretical part. Let's cover the theoretical part, and after that I will start the practice. So in Python 3, okay, so we have a major version as a Python. Earlier it was a Python 2. In Python 3, if user wants to accept the value from the console or output window, then we have predefined function called as input. If you want to accept any value from the user, then we need to use input. Okay, so earlier when we use a Python 2, in that section, whenever you use a Python 2 in that section, we have option of raw input and input. Okay, we have two options in the earlier versions. So here I will specify that version. So Python is there, and in the Python 2 we have an option of a raw underscore input function is there. We don't want to use that function. Make a note of that. Just I will share. And one another function is called as input. So these functions are used in the earlier version, but right now in Python 3, okay, in Python 3 we are using only one function, and the name of that function is input. Okay, we are not using a raw input function inside that. I'm trying to use input. So make a note of that. ये difference आ सकता है, or they will ask the interview question, what is the meaning of raw input? Okay, so in that case, just specify that raw input is used in the Python second major version. Okay, so these are the major versions. Okay, and in Python 3, we are using only input function. So now by default all inputs. So what is the difference? By default all input will be treated as string. That means that if you're trying to accept any value from the user,
then that value will be treated as a string, even if it is a number or in fractional value boolean. So that means what, if you're trying to accept the value from the console, and if it is a 10, that means if it is an integer value, or if it is a 10.5, that means it is a fractional value, or if it is a boolean or complex number, all the value will be treated as what, string. This is the most important feature of that. And to get the proper in format, to get the value in proper format, we need to do the typecasting. We need to do the typecasting. Okay, so what will be the syntax of that? Will do the practical. What will be the syntax? Here I have a variable and I'm accepting the value, so input of round bracket enter something. Okay, so this is an example, and let's do one example. So we'll open it, and here I'm trying to save that program by using demo6 name, demo6.py. So what should I do? We'll accept the value from user, and just we're trying to check what type of data is. Okay, so x is equals to, I'm trying to use, and here I'm trying to use input as a function in round bracket in double quote enter something. I'm trying to enter something. So I'm asking for user to enter something, and he will enter it into. And after that, just I want to check what type of data is. So for that, just I will use type in round bracket open close. Here I will pass the x, and I want to print this value. That's why I will use a print function. So that just I will use round bracket open. Okay. So this is the thing. Okay, so this just will check for that, or also we'll do same thing for other operations. Okay, so just first of all we'll check it, and here I'm trying to use CLS. Just use py demo 6 enter something. So here I will enter the 10. The number is, the value is a number. Okay, so when I trying to check the type of the 10, we get the string value. See, we get the string value, but the actual number is a 10. So that's why I made one statement over here. That's why I made one statement. By default all input values will be treated as string. That means whenever we accept any value from the input function by using input function, will be treated as a string. Okay, make a note of that. Okay, so let's do one more practical. So here we'll accept the different kinds of values also. So we'll accept the four different values. Okay, enter something, enter something, enter something, and we're trying to use that. Save it, and just CLR SCR, so clear the screen. So I demo, so enter something. Here I will use a 10. Again it will ask for the enter something, so I will use 10.5 because I am using a repeated function. Okay, so again I'm using 10.5. Again I'm using, for example, what do we say, boolean value as a true, and after that a complex I will use 3.5j, 2.3j. I accept any value, whether it is a integer, whether it is a fractional, whether it is a true, that means boolean value, whether it is a complex number. When I trying to print that data, we get only string value. We get only string value. So why we require this? We require to perform different kinds of operation. If you want to create another things, like if you want to create, if you want to store the data, for that we require a data type. Okay, so for that reason, just make a note of that. Whatever you want to accept, that will be treated as string. Then how will convert it? How will convert? Use typecasting. Use typecasting. We already did in fundamental data types. So if you want to convert in data type into string, if you want to convert in data type into complex, if you want to convert in data type into binary octet, like that, we can perform any operation. So for example, int round bracket open close is there, float round bracket open close is there, full round bracket open close is there, complex round bracket open close is there, string round bracket open close is there. That means these are the predefined function we can do by using a typecasting. Okay, so this is also you will get the idea, and this one is a syntax. We need to specify the variable, after that input, after that round bracket, enter something. So let's do another example. So this one is example, we already did that without a typecasting. So let's do learn about typecasting. See, these are the predefined functions are available: int round bucket, float round bucket, bool value, complex string. So it is used to convert string data type into integer. It is used to convert string data type into float. It is used to convert string data type into bool. So ये क्या है? This is the options. This is options only. Just we need to use. So we'll apply this logic on here. So enter something. So here I will write enter int value, and after that just convert it into input. So here I will use int round bracket open. And after that round bracket. See here I use the int and int, that means this one is a typecasting. So it will convert your input. By default it will be treated as what? String. So जितना भी मैंने स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट ये मार्क किया है ना, हाईलाइट किया है ना, so that will be your input. So whatever we need to accept the value, that will be converted by using int. Okay, so that's why here we'll get the type as int. After that enter float value, right? Float value, and just we need to typecast it as a float. One at the end run use. So enter float के बाद में होगा something called as a full value. If you want to convert it, then we need to typecast it. ये रिक्वायर्ड क्यों है? क्योंकि कल जाके हमें डिजांगो पढ़ना है. In that we need to create a website, we need to create a forms, different kinds of forms, we need to accept the data, display the data. For that reason it requires. Make a note of that. So what complex? Earlier it was showing what? Earlier it was showing a string data type, but right now we'll check about that. For that here we'll use a complex function. Round bracket, let's open complex. Use save it and try to execute the program. That I will clear the screen and trying to execute. Enter the first value I am trying to use attack. See the class is what? Int. Earlier it was showing string. So we need to do the typecasting. For that we get the actual value. So float value like n dot 2. See we get the fractional value as a float. And the boolean value. So here I'll use true. See we get that class as a boolean. Complex value. So here I will use a 2 plus 4j. Here the complex. That means we require to use what? Typecasting over here. We need to use typecasting. Okay, so did you get that concept, or does we need to specify one more time? Explain more one more time. You get that? Prasad, Upendra, Yogeshwari, Manisha, Archana, Sachin, Ashfaq, Pooja,
Yes,
Shivani,
sir.
all
Yes, sir.
students can able to perform the input operation with typecasting.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So let's start another bit. So just I will accept the value from the user for my form. Okay, so here is the example. Now write a program to accept the employee details. Okay, write a program to accept the employee details. So employee detail contain different kinds of table attributes. See, for example, we require the employee number. So what attribute we required? We need to list out. Employee number is required. Employee name is required. Employee salary is required. Employee address is required. Employee marital status is required. Whether he is married or not. So uh, here I will use only married like that, sir. Okay. So now we'll discuss about this attribute we require to accept the value from the user. Okay. So what is enum? What will be the data type of enum? Enum का data type क्या होगा? So we all know that the Python is a dynamically typed language, but just for typecasting purpose, we need to identify what type of data is. So For that enum, can I say that for enum we require int data type e number. For ename we required string data type. Just I'm discussing, I'm not accepting the values. So for that we required esal, we required float data type. Okay, so for that e address we required can I say that string data type. And the marital status, we all know that whether that value is a true or false, that means we require a bool data type. So before doing any operation, we need to understand what are the data types we required, what are the attributes we require. Okay, so let's do the practical so you will get the idea. So here I will specify e number, employee number, and here I'm trying to use input, and I will ask enter your employee number. Enter your employee done. So we specified that enter your employee number and that will be stored in E and O. Okay, employee number. But make a note of that while accepting the value will be treated as by default string. So we need to convert it into integer. Okay, so just I will specify that. Okay, so remaining part will be more. So we need to specify that enum is what? Enum is integer. So for that here, while int round bracket open and at the end I will round bracket close. So once we get that value. After that, similarly, what should we do? We required what? E-name. We required e salary. We required e address. We required marital status. So just change it carefully. So after that we required e-name. So we did not require e-name as a typecasting. Okay, so here e-name input and I will remove this. Okay, so employee here I will write just make it in proper format. After that, third one is esal. Which data type you required? Which data type you required? Float data type is required. Just change it as a float. That's it. After that, e address is required. ADDR. Which data type is required? String as it is. So remove int. I did a copy paste. Don't worry there. And here I will state marital status. Okay. Whether it is a whether it is married or not. Okay, input your marital status. So here I will write married status. You can say that yes or no, whether you are married or no. Okay, so you need to specify the answer. Okay, so or we can say that true or false. You can say that yes or no means what? True and false. We require this value, so we need to specify. Okay, so once we clear, when we need to check out employee number, int, employee name, employee salary, employee address, and marital status. So let's write one statement and we'll say that please confirm about details. Write please about details. Okay, so please confirm about details. Please confirm about details, and after that we'll print the data. So here I will use print marital status, and for marital status we need to use a bool value because we need to do the typecasting for that. Here I will write print in round bracket in double quote. Your name is colon separation by comma, and instead of that name write number is separation by comma, and here pass the ENO. Okay, so done. We'll copy paste. Okay, once we get the number, we require one more. Your number is, after that your name is, Okay, after that, your third point is a salary is that address is last one is a marital status. Marital status. We need to specify this attribute also clearly. अच्छा देखने के लिए what should I do? I will make it in serial thing. Using that, just I am accepting the values. Make a note of that. I'm just accepting the values in different types of format by using a typecasting. Okay, इसका एक another solution भी है. We'll discuss about that. So here I will pass e name. Here I will pass e name. Third one is salary. So here I will pass e sal. And afterwards, sal required to pass second one a address is there. Here a address will pass, and last one is marital status. So here I will start marital, okay, or whether it is a married or not. Okay. So we get that data and we'll print it. So let's do and let's check that whether we this operation successfully or does we have any error. What is the name of program? The program name was same demo 6. Let's try to execute. Let's try to execute py demo.py. So we get the error print your number is because here I did not use a comma over here, so that's why we get the error. So each and every time we need to use a comma to separate them. Trying to use comma everything. So now just I will check it whether we don't have error or run. So enter your employee number. So my employee number is 101. Enter your name. थोड़ा सा ये proper नहीं दिख रहा है. So that's why enter employee number. So my number is 101. Name. My name is my S. Enter your employee. I didn't check the syntax also. So e salary is there. Employee salary is there. So here I will write employee salary. So employee. So employee salary is there. After that, employee address is there. Minute. So I'm trying to execute. Enter your employee number. 101. Employee name. Name is her employee salary. Let's say 50,000. Address. My address is paid. Whether it is marital status. Yes, it is true. See, please confirm about details. Your name, your name, number, name, salary, address, and marital status. We get that data. Okay, so whatever data we require, we get that data. Okay, so this is about what input function. So just wait for a few minutes. So this is about what input function. So by using that we can accept. So just do what do one thing. Just try to complete one task. So you need to write a program to accept the university detail. You need to write a program to accept the student detail. I know that it's very basic, but these things are very useful. Okay, while doing the application, while performing the Django application, or while creating the website, these fundamental things are very useful. Okay, so that's for you need to create a program, write a Python program to accept student detail, university detail, and hospital detail. You need to write code for that. And after creating that, you need to update. Just you need to post it on. Okay, so here I will mention the chat box. Write a Python program to accept student
details. First one. Afterwards, copy of that. Accept university. Yes. The last one is accept, write a program to accept hospital. So according to your knowledge, you can accept the value and do it operation. Okay, so don't worry. So if you have any query, let me know. We'll discuss and resolve. So once we completed the input function, so my question is, can I able to accept multiple values? Right now I'm accepting one value in that. So just we need to accept multiple values. So I have created a very good things, the how to read multiple values from keyword. I have designed this thing syntax, do it one by one and you will get the options. Okay, so for that, just I will show you one thing. One compound assignment operator is there. Okay, so just I will show you, and afterward I will start. So for example, see, a comma b comma c is equals to 10 comma 20 comma 30. So that statement is called as a compound assignment operator. In that, the value will be assigned with multiple variables. So the first value will be assigned with a, the second value will be assigned to the b, third value will be assigned to the 30. Okay, so let's check a. What is a? A is a 10. Let's check b. Let's check c. Okay, so that means we can assign the values. So why we require, if you want to accept the multiple values, want to accept the multiple values, then we require this knowledge. Okay, so this is the compound answer. So in that case, if we're trying to use a, see, a comma b comma c, and if you're trying to provide only two values, then see, it will get error. That means whatever how many variables we need to pass, we need to assign that values. Okay, so make a note of that. Here I'm passing three variables. We required three values. Okay, three variables, three values. So this technique we required inside that. So now let's do one. Let's one create a program which will accept two values, and it will quite easy, I think so. So just here I will create it. So just I will inform, just I will say follow the steps step by one, so you will get a better idea to accept. So here I will write reading, write a Python program to accept multiple value, or we can say that two values. Okay, right now I'm going to accept. सी मेक अ नोट ऑफ दैट, मैं जो भी पढ़ा रहा हूँ ये आपको प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज आगे का समझ में आएगा, पीछे का निकल जाएगा. सो डेली ऑन बेसिस यू नीड टू यूज एटलीस्ट 1 to 2 hours एज फॉर द रिवीजन. ओके, डे वन से डेली रिवीजन करना है आप. ओके, सो याद रखना. सो स्टेप वन, just we all know that how we'll accept single value. I will accept by using an input function. See, input and round bracket, in that I will write enter two values. We all know that I will accept the values. Okay, so like that we can accept the value. अब एक वैल्यू थी तो डायरेक्ट वेरिएबल के अंदर स्टोर करते थे, but right now we have two values. So this one is your step one, this one is your step one. Okay, we need to write. So step two क्या करना है कि we need to divide the output. अभी हमें क्या करना है, आउटपुट को, सॉरी, जो वैल्यूज हमारे पास आ रहे हैं उसको डिवाइड करना है. So for that we will use one predefined function called as a split. What? Called as a split. So here I will use input in round bracket in double quote, enter two values. Okay, so left after that. So here I will use a split function. Round bracket, just I will use as it is, split round bracket open close. Okay, so this is your split. Okay, so first step we just accepting the values. Later on just we added the split function to the input function. Okay, so हमने ये अभी given input split भी कर लिया. Now we need to read. So assume that we have two values inside that. So that means we can just say that it is a one type of split. It is a one type of list. We can say that. Just we need to read that value. For that we need to use for. We need to use for. So
For that, in step 3, we'll what do? We'll accept the value by using for. Okay, so here I will write for I in that I will use as it is this. Is just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Or for whatever way, for I in, and after that just I will use it is. So this one is what here step 3. So why we use this for I in? Why? Because we are accepting the two or more values. Okay, so for that we need to read for that we need to read that value. So instead of that I, here I will use x, so for better understanding or easily understanding, for x in input. So जो भी values आ रहे हैं इसके अंदर से, okay, for example right now I am accepting to 2, so that will be stored in x. We already know that for loop for ऐसे ही print करते हैं, and we'll also discuss about that कि कैसे करना है. Okay, so just for x in, like that, see, assume that x is equals to something called as a, here we have a bunch of value. Just I will give you a demo, 20 comma 30 comma 40, and I want to print this all values. So what should I do? I will use for I in x. Okay, and in that what should I do? I will write print I. तो ये क्या करेगा, x के अंदर जितने भी वैल्यूज है तो वो इटरेट करके वन बाय वन वैल्यू प्रिंट करते चलेगा. वैसे हमने क्या किया, इनपुट के अंदर मेरे पास दो वैल्यूज है, सो ये दो वैल्यू मैंने x के अंदर डाली, मतलब ये दो बार रीड करेगा. ओके, और प्रिंट करेगा. आफ्टर दैट सी, I already told that whatever we learn, whatever we accept, that will be a string data type. That means we need to convert this x. Right now when we accept the value with splitted value, that will be stored in x. So in step 4, what should we do? We use step 4 to use int of x. Int of x. Okay, so here we did the kind of typecasting, and here we'll add as it is. Okay, so just we did a typecasting. Later on, we need to assign this value. Last step, step 5, we need to assign that value. So here we require two variable a comma b. Compound assignment is equals to, in square bracket open close, we require to use all this. Okay, ये पूरी की पूरी thing क्या करना पड़ेगा हमें, we require to use all things. This is the final statement to accept two or more values. Okay, but ये आपको डायरेक्ट में पढ़ा था तो it got quite confusion, so that's why मैंने स्टेप बाय स्टेप पढ़ा है. फर्स्ट विल एक्सेप्ट द वैल्यू कैसे करते हैं, फिर वो गिवन वैल्यू को हम स्प्लिट कैसे करते हैं बाय यूजिंग अ प्रीडिफाइंड फंक्शन स्प्लिट. Once we splitted, how we'll read that value by using for loop. Once we did that, how we'll convert typecasting. After that, I will assign the value. Okay, so these are the steps, और ये मैंने steps यहाँ दिए हैं, so you can rewatch that steps. So just what should I do? I will perform one program. Okay, so I will make a hash about that, so I don't want to execute that, or this I want to use for my information. Afterward I will write a code. Okay, so just अब मैं फिर से एक बार आपको run करके दिखाऊँ. First of all, what should we do? We will use input function. I'm trying to use input, and just I will specify my message. Enter two values. So step 1 is completed. After that, we'll split that value by using split function. We completed the second value. So after that, we'll read that value by using a for loop for x in. That we do the typecasting. So here I will do int of x. Okay, and after that we'll assign the values. So for that, just we need to use square bracket open close, and we'll assign a value for a and b. Here I'm using a comma for that, and here I will equal to equals. After that, print a, print a, okay, and after that print uh, type of a, and also print. So ज़्यादा आगे नहीं जाएंगे. We'll close for today itself. So just do the practice for that, and tomorrow we'll discuss more about that. Okay. So just open the ideally to that. Here it execute it. We have an error in where indentation error. Okay, indentation मतलब लाइनिंग का error होता है. ये फॉर लूप के अंदर आपको कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर होगा कि indentation होता क्या है. राइट नाउ जैसे प्रॉपर फॉर्मेट में हम प्रोग्राम करते हैं वैसे ही कीजिए. सेव इट. Save it and trying to clear the server. Just try to execute. See, we are trying to execute and enter two values. Okay, so here I will use 10 space 20. Here I'm using 10 space 20. By default, split function will accept space. By default, split function will accept the space. So that's why here I have given a space inside 10 and 20. So click on that. See, we printed the two values 10 and 20, and we printed the type also int. That means we are successfully accepting the two or more values. Now, if you want to accept the one more value, so what should I do? I will use a C double equals to option. Just instead of that two values, except for the three values. That's enough. Okay, so here I'm using a compound statement a comma b comma c, and we are accepting the three values. Just 1 minute. What happened? Yeah, we missed the square bracket over here. Okay, the three values 10 comma 20 comma 30. We get the three values. Yes. What will be the type of data? Int. So do it practice today itself. Tomorrow we'll discuss about the more, and just follow the steps. Okay. ये first time directly ये statement आप नहीं use कर सकते. It quite confusing. So learn कैसे करना है आपको ये मैंने बताया. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 and step 5. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss about more about the split function, what are the other functions are available, and after that we'll perform some addition and subtraction. After that we'll discuss about the eval function also. Okay, so hope so we will get the idea. Did anyone have a query regarding that? Chin, Ashpak, Yogeshwari. Just I want to say last
No,
important
sir.
thing. Just I will close the video.